JT Smith for the TFON Podcast here for season 3, episode 9. Flying solo today. Had some family stuff I had to take care of at the beginning of the week, so I couldn't do it at my normal time, either on Tuesday or Wednesday. So just dropping a quick pod ahead of homecoming. The homecoming game is tomorrow. They'll be playing USF at Nippert Stadium at 2:30. It'll be on ESPN Plus. This is a game that the Bearcats are heavily favored. I haven't checked the numbers, but they should handle business. And it should be a good day. You know, it's a lot of people in town for homecoming. It's a lot of festivities. I am jealous of my friends that are out kicking it, doing hood rat things, downtown right now. So, I'm gonna talk a little bit about, hoops and a little bit about the football game. We'll go back into last week, even though it is Friday. So sorry for the people that are looking at me live and the people that will listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, and other places. Bearcats handled business against Tulsa, won by 10 points. But the second half, the defense was dominant, but it was just very ugly because of offensive woes per se. Like they start off super hot and then they get cold in the second half. And that's something the last 2 weeks that has happened. The defense has held on, but the defense had a lot of penalties that kept them on the field a little bit longer than they need to be. I want to say they had 11, either 9 or 11 penalties last week, which has kind of been the trend for this team. And they're going to have to scale it back. They still can stay aggressive. I love the aggression, but they can't get those silly penalties. And I feel like the refs didn't help them out. There was a few plays that I thought weren't really penalties that they called penalties on them. And it was like one on Jaquan Shepard. The ball was over the guy's head. Jaquan didn't even touch him, and they threw a flag. And then after they threw the flag, he touched him, and it wasn't enough, I would say, to call a pass interference, honestly. So that type of stuff you can't. It's like that's kind of BS, but at the same time, they do have a lot of plays that they shouldn't make. You know what I mean? So you help the other team out. I just feel like if the offenses doesn't get fixed, far as in the second half, Ben Bryant starts the game off very hot the first 2 quarters. The last two games in the last 2 quarters, he hasn't been as sharp. So that has to change, I think, moving forward, even though this team is very talented, because they are very penalty prone. So you got to take advantage of those opportunities, and they have to play a lot cleaner in the second half. So I think the offense has to, if you're scoring 28 points, 27, 28, 21 points in the first half, that's great, but you still need to tack on another 14 if you can. If you can double that up, and I think that would help the team tremendously. And I think because of the team is so talented, us as media or people like myself that watches the game on a consistent basis, you can get nitpicky because this team, you can see the team has all the ingredients to be a very talented team, and they are doing very well right now. And they should, honestly, they are the cream of the crop in the AAC. So it's easy to nitpick. They're still winning. As long as you win the game, it doesn't matter. But I just know if a game gets tight, if the offense is not cooking like it is in the first half, they have to keep their foot on the gas the whole game. And I feel like they'll play a few games where people like Evan Prater should be able to play in the second half. Other younger people should be able to get snaps because they should be able to run the game up. Like a Tulsa game, I think they could have possibly ran that up, but they just, in the second half, I don't think they took the foot off the gas, put on the brakes. And then, like I said, I think as good as Ben has played all season, I need him to be stronger in the second half, because if the team's gonna go to the next level, he has to start putting up those legit second halves. Like, he has a great first half. The last 2 games, his second halves have been pretty rough. So I need him to stay on to play a complete game, because that's going to be key. If he plays a complete game, these Bearcats will be very, very serious. But I think they'll roll USF. Hopefully, it being homecoming isn't too much, but it's not Tulsa, a team that always punches in the mouth. I feel like they match up very, 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 very well against USF, and they should railroad these guys, and it should be a fun day for everybody, and hopefully everybody that attends Nipper Stadium on the sold out crowd, gets what they want to see live as a win, and they see a lot of points, and they see USF not scoring much, and then that'll be great. They'll be still a top team in the AAC. I think they're the best team. Just watching this Memphis and Houston game, Memphis is up 26-7 in the fourth quarter and lose 33-32. It's crazy, right? And I think I counted Houston out, but they both don't look good. Like, I think the Bearcats will smoke both of them. Like, barring, knock on wood, not anything crazy. I definitely would. If I was a betting, I would put my money on UC no matter where they play either one of these teams. So that's a positive. But the dark horse in the AAC currently is Tulane. So that's the team that we normally play real rough. Like, it's almost like Tulsa 2 to me, because they normally play them like it's just a game that you don't expect to be good or close, and it normally happens against them. So that game is the game I have marked on the calendar, because I think it's at home, which is good. But at the same time, Tulane is the one I'm a little area of. So we'll see how that goes. We'll watch some of the injuries, see how that goes. But I want to dance into, the men's basketball team, because it's a big weekend, but they had a big week. Jizzle James committed, 4-star point guard out of Florida, and the son of Hall of Fame running back Edgerrin James. He is Edgerrin James Jr. They call him Jizzle for short. I think it's a pretty dope nickname. I actually call my son Zizzle since I heard of his name, just because his name, he starts with a Z. I don't know if it's gonna stick. I call him either that or Zebo. So, but in general, I love the nickname. Tough point guard, athletic, a top 75 player in the 2023 class. Joins Rayvon Griffith. Both of those guys are top 75, and now they have a top 20 recruiting class and only have 2 guys. And they're still in the market for Isaiah Collier, who's the number 1 guy in the nation, and Arrington Page. Who knows? Everybody thinks right now. I mean, if anything you read right now is kind of saying they're going to use USC, but who knows? I think the Bearcats are still smart casting their net out there, because you never know. And they have the big man, the five-star big man. I think he's like the number 4 guy in the nation for the 2024 class. I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head. Shoot, my bad. But the big man, it looks like they have a chance. They have a real good chance for him to actually could possibly be a Bearcat. It's a possibility, if he does commit, that he could reclassify to the 2023 class, which would be even crazier for his team. And then they'll have Jizzle and Rayvon on campus, as well as 2024 Cincinnati native Tyler McKinney, who's transferred out. I forgot what school he went to, but he went to a prep school. And then Malachi Moreno. Hopefully I didn't murder his name, but he's a member of the 2025 class. Thanks, Flory. I hope I say his name right. Good looking out, John. Good looking out. But but hopefully the Bearcats can land them. I feel good about McKinley. Honestly, I know it's early in his process. Just him being a hometown guy and being very tied to the program. I feel like Wes made him a priority, just like he did Rayvon. So I feel good about that. And I just like what the team is doing, or what him and his crew is doing as far as recruiting. They're getting tough, athletic, lengthy young men on the team, and that's what Bearcats basketball is. And that's going to help them when they go into the Big 12, because the Bearcats are known to play tough. And then the good thing about Wes is he allows them to have a little bit more freedom. So, like, they can score. Like, he'll let them do whatever they want on offense. They just got to play tough defense. And that's cool. And that's what people want. Like, you don't want to know, like, man, on these games, we might only score 50 points. I'm not trying to diss any other coaches, but at the same time, these young men don't want to be scoring, averaging almost a triple-double in high school, and go to college and score 7 points and average 3 assists. It's just not how it works. But I like how West is recruiting. He's casting it out. He's trying to get the big fish, which is great. It's great to see because just because you're Cincinnati, even though we are one of the richest basketball programs. So you got to sell that to the people. I know Bearcats haven't won since the 60s, you know what I mean, as far as the championship. But at the end of the day, you still have people that, within the 90s, 2000s, they were getting first round picks all the time. So that's something you can hang your hat on, and that's something you can return to. Like if you've been there, you can always get back up to that mountaintop. You just got to keep pushing. And that's what the Bearcats can do. Their historic program, even under Mick, I mean, he had them going to the tournament consistently. So, and he has a lot of guys that were able to be drafted or unrestricted free agent, not undrafted free agents that have stuck in the league. So, it's a rich program. They're about to go to the Big 12. Big 12 is the best basketball program in college. Even if the Bearcats weren't in the Big 12, it's definitely the best basketball conference, like hands down, no ifs, ands, or buts. So the Bearcats have to be ready because honestly, which is crazy, is you could probably have a 500 record in the Big 12 and you make the tournament, which in the AAC, you're not sniffing it. You're not sniffing the tournament. You could damn near be 10-6 and you might not make it in the AAC. It's just how it rolls. But in the Big 12, you're gonna have a chance. So I'm excited to see how these actual visits go this weekend. The fast forward back over to football. Oh no, my bad. Stay on basketball. The 1991 and 1992 teams. Well, the 1991-92 team will be, at Nippert tomorrow, as well as the 92-93 team will be at Nippert tomorrow as well. So that's pretty dope. It seems like Bob Huggins is in Cincinnati, so I'm pretty sure he's going to come out there with both teams and receive his love from the Cincinnati crowd, which will be pretty dope. I know countless Bearcats are in town. I feel like Sean Kilpatrick's in town. Seen the OG Chad Moore, who I went to school with, aging myself, but it's pretty dope. Like UC's homecoming has grown. My friends some of my best friends have helped grow this tradition, and it's cool to see the sports people coming back, like legit OG ballers that you probably haven't seen in years. Even on the football side, you're like, oh man, where y'all been at? So it's dope just to see the homecoming become a thing, and it's kind of been like since like 2007, 2008. It's kind of just grown like wildfire. To see where it's at right now, it's pretty dope. And just to see the grassroots of that, like I'm pretty excited. But yeah, man, you just never know who you guys might see this weekend. So if y'all tailgate, make sure y'all hit up all the tailgates. Everything should be jumping. Hit up Kegs and Eggs. My guy Kel will be cooking it up there if y'all are around Short Vine. Smash tailgates. I'll probably try to stop in the Alpha one. Those are my people. So I might try to hit them up and see what they got going on. But I'm excited about the game. I feel like the Bearcats should handle business. Hopefully, this is a game they play clean, and they just they should railroad these guys. I don't know what the cover is today or tomorrow, but I expect them to cover. I just want to see them have an explosive second half and not a second half where they're just playing grind the clock. I want to see them be as explosive as they were in the first half and the second half. And that will make me happy because I feel like this defense has definitely, while they're not, they don't have the Sauce and Kobe's anymore, they're still holding their own. I mean, they had 11 sacks last week, which is crazy. I know Davis Brin was hurt and had a hurt ankle and gutted it out, but I don't care. 11 sacks is 11 sacks. And that I have never seen that, not from a Bearcats team. I don't think I've seen that personally in college. So that was amazing just to see that and to see how these young men are taking these steps, man. But they just got to play cleaner, man. I just don't want it to burn them in a tight game because you know how it goes. You play normally Tulsa plays them, and Tulsa played them tough, but I feel like the Bearcats dominated. Just our penalties kept them in, and then the refs tried to keep it close. But in general, you're going to have that game where nothing's really working. You might get a play here and there, and you can't have those penalties killing you. And that's what I'm scared of. Just if you don't have your best fastball working, you got to use your off speed. And essentially, the off speed is the penalty. Like, then your off speed doesn't work if the penalties ain't working. It's almost like your placement. I guess that's a good analogy, but I don't want that to happen because this team is too talented. I get pissed every time I think about the damn Arkansas game because they legitimately laugh a lot of money on the field. So like they could be undefeated in the top 15 team right now. Honestly, I mean, just for them to slack them like that, and they're only number 24 in AP, I want to say, it's like crazy to me. It's in itself. So, but it is what it is, man. But yeah, man, just I know we got the preview up on the site. My man Neil cooked that up. Me and Neil will be covering the game. My guy Brandon Weston will be shooting the game. So expect a lot of dope pictures from that. Make sure you guys hit up 513 shirts, get y'all some TFON gear. Let me know when you get it so we can share as well. Appreciate all the support. And if you guys are gambling, hit the link on the site, man. It's a link on the site for Bet US. And if you put TFON 125, you get a free play. So get a free play, get you some money. And if you want to bet on the UC game, I'm not an advocate on betting on UC games just because every time I tell somebody what to do on this stuff, they lose and then they get pissed at me. So I try to keep my slightly expert opinion out of it because my expert opinion never works when I give somebody an opinion, especially when it comes to UC. So do not ask me what to do when it comes to UC. You can ask some opinions, but don't ask me who to bet on when it comes to UC because every time no matter what, even if I say they're not going to cover, they cover, vice versa. So, and then people are always pissed like, oh, you covering them and then you giving me this crappy information. So I'm not a shark. That's not me, not my style. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But hit up the site, check it out, hit the Instagram. Follow the YouTube page, man. Subscribe. We're trying to get up to 1,000 slowly but surely. Roughly, I think we like at 260 something. So help us out. Share the site. Share that YouTube page, man. Help us out so we can get up there slowly but surely. Get to that 1,000. And then, yeah, man. Just that's pretty much it. I hope everybody enjoys their homecoming weekend. Hopefully the Bearcats get the dub. I plan on trying to get back to a normal time next week on the podcast. So just look out for it on Tuesday or Wednesday. Just depending on I gotta look and see how my football week looks. So they have problems right there. So, but that's how we're gonna wrap it up for episode 9. Make sure you guys check it out. I will add the video and add the music. I don't know why I gotta step it up. I gotta try to do some trial stuff so I can see if I can add the buffer music like legitimately when I go live. But I'm gonna blame that on me. I'm gonna say it's a user error, and that's just me working out the kinks. So, but and I appreciate John. John, thanks for giving that information to me real quick before I was going live. And then but that's it, man. Make sure you guys check out the pod, hit up everything, make a comment, like, and if you know guys know any sponsors, let me shout out the podcast that me, Meacham, and my man Neil are going to start soon. So yeah, when the basketball season, the Bearcat tip-off talk. So be on the lookout for that. I know I feel like I'm rambling right now, but if you know anybody that wants to sponsor TFON or the Bearcat tip-off talk, send them our way, man. Hit us up, send an email, and then that's it, man. I'm JT Smith, and I'm signing out, fellas. Y'all have a good one.